Hey there, plebs. What's up? It's our off week, but don't worry, that doesn't mean we're not going to do anything for our wonderful plebs out there. We're going to be releasing momentarily, following this little introduction, an hour-long preview of last month's LOLCOW Gauntlet. And if you want to see the 6-hour entirety of that gauntlet, then you will have to join the Pessimist Productions Patreon, link down below.
The real LOLCOWs were the friends we made along the way.
Isn't that true? That is very true. The real LOLCOWs are the friends we made along the way. Wise words from a wise person.
Wise.
But through the power of the internet, as one of those LOLCOWs might say, the power of the internet has distilled. I mean, like, look, there can, and that's why I think there's almost this tendency to say it's like, this is like Highlander. There can be only one LOLCOW. No, that's not true. There can be many, but some are better than others. Some are more interesting than others. Some are more fascinating than others. So you might have a bunch of LOLCOWs in your life, but only some can make the fucking list. There's got to be a list, and we've got to rank it in some way. So I'm not saying. So to me, I think the honor is actually being in this episode. That's your fucking placement. Is that of all the LOLCOWs? I mean, Paul,
as it may be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, so to me, it's like people are like, hey, let's rank it. It's like I don't think it's necessarily like that. I think it's Paul probably as. I mean, you followed a bunch of LOLCOWs for years. I know you knew about the shit with Boogie because I remember like the first time I brought that up to you. When I heard about it, you knew all about it. You weren't like caught unaware like who the fuck is Boogie 2988? You know, like
I've actually been a casual observer of LOLCOWs for a long fucking time. If you really think about it, and this is something I guess we could talk about at the beginning of it. Like, what's the definition of a LOLCOW, right? So, like, as I understand it, and I don't want to go to know your meme or whatever, because the way people use words is more important than their definitions to me.
Sure.
LOLCOW, the way it's used nowadays, they use it like so that you're milking this person. So you want to laugh at somebody who's less fortunate than you, or who's stupider than you, or uglier than you, or dumber than you. And here's a person that just doesn't get that the way to avoid bullying on the internet is to log off the internet. You know what I mean?
Right.
And refuses obstinately to ever take responsibility for any of their own shortcomings. And that justifies you milking their lol udders for the lols, the lol milk, I guess. That's supposed to be what like the term evokes, I guess.
But only some people achieve that. Because I think like you're right, a lot of people just log off, they get upset, they're like, they basically almost take the tact of like, don't be mean to me.
Yeah.
I think the LOLCOW, it has to be someone. There's a bit of defiance in them. Like they have to keep fighting back against that. And it's almost always, like I said, impotently or, weakly. And honestly, most times the defense themselves make them, I mean, like when they actually do try to defend their lives, it actually is worse. It's almost better if they're just not aware of it.
Well, yeah, that is you're gonna see that over and over again tonight, Scotty. Is like a lot of these people, they just need to stop trying to defend themselves and either move on completely from that aspect or just like get off the internet in a public way, like go private, make some new accounts, just be an average fucking Joe on the internet. And that would probably solve 99% of the problems that LOLCOWs experience in their lives, but they just can't do that because they're addicted to the fame part of it. Mm-hmm. They're just like convinced that someday they're going to turn it around and be recognized for who and what they are, and all of them share that attribute.
They're going to parlay it into greatness.
I think temporarily embarrassed rock stars. You know what I mean?
Dude, any day now, I'm gonna be playing the arena, sold out.
Yeah,
like, come on, bro.
I mean, every last one of them shares some aspect of that, and I tried to highlight it for the ones that I pulled in the best way that I could. There's some short burst videos tonight, but a lot of long stuff that I feel like we're just gonna have to dig in and commit ourselves to. You have to understand when it's the longer form stuff, when you're listening to a LOLCOW drone on for an hour. We may not watch a whole hour, but you know what I'm saying? It's like that's what you're gonna get if you watch their shit. And so I can't really show you what they are and why people make fun of them without showing you what they're putting out there to make fun of. But yeah, I really have been and I got to be honest with you guys. I don't know if you'll allow me this, but I think I might be one of the most experienced people on the planet when it comes to LOLCOWs, because I was milking LOLCOWs as an 8-9-year-old boy on the CB radio every fucking night.
That's true.
These like local local short trip truckers that were on all night because they were back and forth between the construction site and the fucking depot, right? And they just didn't know how to fucking change the channel and go somewhere else. They had to try and pwn the 8-year-old, but I was mentally quicker than most of them.
Picking his nose, like origin of language. Yeah, that dude was wiping on his inside of his mom's car too, like just wiping boogers on fucking his mom's car. Was waiting.
This poor mom, man.
Yeah.
That was that guy was kind of a little mini
origin of boogers, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, mom.
Well, Paul, you're a fucking natural born troll.
Yes.
You got a fucking big troll bump. You're like a troll to your in your fucking heart of hearts, I think. Like that shit you used to pull on. I think was it Ultima Online you used to do that shit in with your
all the scams
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love that.
And I don't like to brag about it, but I really do like think that I've been doing it for longer than a lot of people. I'm an old school boomer troller guy from fucking back in the day, pre-internet days.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to think I know a lot about this subject. There were a lot of people. I'm aware of a lot of LOLCOWs, okay? Minor, mediocre, and major, I guess, the 3 M's.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't pull any minors. I pulled maybe one mediocre, but I mostly went with some major LOLCOWs because I thought, that's what those are the ones people are going to want to hear about. They're kind of like better for illustrating it. But it was tough, like putting this together thought wise and figuring out exactly how much to do of this, that, or the other thing was tough. But I guess we could just jump right into it. I don't know how you guys feel. If you want to banter.
Well, the question I would have was the ones that simply fascinated you the most, or did you think about it from a broader perspective, or was it kind of a mixture of like, I believe.
I don't mean to force a conversation on you guys, but here's kind of like the conversation that I envisioned us having tonight, and I'm hoping you're engaged enough with it to make it an interesting, broad topic. Sure. Is like, where does this and bullying intersect?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How much is too much? What does it say about our society that this is because it is. This is a growing form of entertainment right now. Like more and more people are tuning in to kind of like make fun of average people on the internet, and they get a cult following around them. And then that becomes broader when it goes onto certain websites and shit. And it escapes into this broader subculture that's really growing. Yeah. And so what does that say about adults that have not, and what does that say about us? Because we did it for years. All of us kind of picked on weirdos on the internet for years for money, right?
Mm-hmm.
To a certain extent.
Part of it, yeah, but it was a big part of it. But it was.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't deny it, and I don't expect you guys would either.
No, definitely.
So how do we feel about it in terms of our contribution to broadening that? Because I don't think we obviously didn't invent it.
No.
But because we're going to cover a LOLCOW tonight that is pre-drunken peasants. So it will be our first LOLCOW tonight. A lot of you probably have never heard of the LOLCOW we're going to cover tonight at the top of this, but he was one of the first internet ones that I got into. But anyway, that's kind of the broader thing. That's what interests me about this, is because, in watching these, I started to feel a little bit like, wow, some of these are just fucking hilarious. Some of these people clearly understand what's going on and have chosen the path of least resistance, which is to just be milked like a LOLCOW. And some of these people are like, and I don't mean to use an anachronistic term, retarded people, or, whatever. What do you say now? And I feel like everything's a slur now.
Just say retarded.
And retarded. You understand? I'm not using it in the 90s way. I'm using it in the diagnostic way, right? Mentally retarded people.
Yeah,
people
they don't have the mental capacity to understand what's going on.
Either that, or they have profound social problems and they don't understand social cues to the point where you can basically tell them anything and they'll just go with it. And people take advantage of that, right?
Of course.
And we'll talk about that as time goes on. But I don't mean to like. Here's my worry with it before we jump feet first. I don't want to drape a bunch of depression over this because there is a lot of funny shit that I pulled. We're definitely going to laugh, but I do want you guys to keep that in the back of your mind. And as we go through LOLCOWs, let's talk about our experiences with LOLCOWs and like how it relates to these guys and how we feel about, is this guy getting bullied too much or is he kind of asking for it and profiting from it? Where's the line between those two things? That sort of shit.
Yeah, I'll keep that in my old noodle here.
All right. So, I mean, let's just get to it, shall we, TJ?
Sure.
Everybody knew it had to be on here. We're going to talk a little bit about Chris Chan. Now, previously, you remember back in the
you have taken a stance against ever covering Chris Chan.
Well, yeah, you remember back in the DP days. Chris Chan
that was like your rule was like, I will not do Chris Chan.
Right. I just said I don't think it's a good idea that we cover Chris Chan. I think Chris Chan is like a victim of a lot of fucking harassment and bullshit, and is a clear example of a person who's like,
sorry, I'm just going to.
No, it's okay. Who's like mentally not prepared for the onslaught of the internet.
So
and
I do not know much about Chris Chan.
Well, I'm glad
I have
I pulled
seen
the primer.
Right. Okay. Well, I've seen, stuff here and there, obviously, but I've never really watched any of it. And I get the impression that Chris Chan is like genuinely retarded. Is that right? Like, are they like just like genuinely
Autistic.
Mentally fucking challenged?
Like high on the close higher down the slider on the autism spectrum towards non-functioning.
So
not
like
necessarily to the point of being an institutionalized, but just barely able to kind of
like quasi-functioning autistic.
Yes.
Got it.
So this is and another interesting thing about Chris Chan is a lot of people say that he is the most documented person in modern history. And maybe one of, if not the most documented person in all of history in terms of how much of his life he presented. And I'm saying he, it's she now. So
right, gotcha.
Christine Weston Chandler, I'll have to try and remember. They have transitioned now. And so I'm just going to go with they. They have had a fucking rough go of it. They presented a lot of their life to the internet. And there is now currently an 88-part and growing comprehensive history of Chris Chan on YouTube that is chock full of information about everything that went on every year of Chris's life for like the last fucking 20 years. So it's crazy. This is where his story starts.
Their story. Or
their
her
story. Their story, sorry.
The cool new TV show is on the air. And check this out.
No, I used to watch the show.
Yeah, it's a terrible show, but it's,
I want to eat a chili dog.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is watch the show and then write down the Sonic Says message. For an entry blank, go to a participating KB toy store or use a 3x5 card and mail it into this station. You might win some of this cool Sonic stuff. Prizes may vary. There's even a $1,000 shopping spree at KB Toy Stores. The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and KB Toy Stores Watch and Win sweepstakes. Watch and you can win.
So what the fuck was that?
Go to the next video.
Okay. Will do.
Next slide, please.
Next slide.
I have a little more for you, including
Go ahead and just play it.
Okay.
what Sonic the Hedgehog means to a very special Charlottesville boy, and the significance goes way beyond a high score in videos. Finally tonight, Sonic the Hedgehog is running wildly in the Chandler household this weekend. 12-year-old Christian Chandler of Charlottesville was the winner in a video game shopping spree. Christian is one of only about 100 winners nationally to receive $1,000 worth of Sega games and equipment. For his parents, it's just another example of how well he's doing. Christian is a high-functioning autistic child. This past fall, on his own initiative, he entered a contest based on a favorite cartoon character.
I had to do was exactly watch Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, and I'd listen to what Sonic says at the end of it, and write it down for a whole week, and then I had to mail it in, and I had to be drawn out of a hat, and I just won.
And Christian's father says it only takes a few hours for him to master an electronic game and then move on to another. I can't master any of them. That's it.
No, that's when Chris Chan first pops up on the radar in terms of like culturally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that obsession with Sonic the Hedgehog was married with another obsession that you could probably guess. Another franchise, video game franchise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Pokemon, right?
Right.
Because I see the next one is called Sonic.
Pokemon,
Sonichu. And so what Chris
Sonichu.
Keane did, amongst other things, was he created a comic book, kind of, and started drawing a comic book.
Okay.
You can just pull it up here.
Sure.
This video is just showing off some of the Sonichu comics
Okay.
that really kind of got him on the radar as a LOLCOW. Got them on the radar. Sorry, I'm gonna have to correct myself a minute.
Come on, Paul.
I'm trying.
Get with the fucking times.
But you can see that they were very. Actually, sing a song here with this too.
Is the song also by
No,
Chris
it's
Chan?
just a cover, but it's
Okay.
got special lyrics.
all right.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Is this a love story between Sonic and Pikachu? Is that what I'm seeing
Is
here?
it? Is that what's going on?
Is it too late? Are you too busy to hang with an old friend that's been with you forever? What would I do? I feel very lonesome without you.
What the fuck is going on?
Like, it's really difficult to even pay attention. He's like, it's flipping through the comic so quickly.
Well,
And
and the quality is shit too. Because
the
it's an
quality is
old-ass
shit.
Video.
Yeah, Chris Chan is singing at the same time
Is
the
that
song
Chris-
is playing.
Chris Chan is the singer.
That is the
right
person
now?
that is singing kind of over the
Okay.
song. Yeah, that's Chris.
Okay.
You know, he wrote himself into his own comic books, which you know,
Her own comic books. Paul.
it was, but like at the time,
No, that's not how it works, Paul. That's not how it works.
they wrote themselves into their own comic books.
I see.
Okay. They did this because they had they worked out their fantasies about perceived slights that they had incurred during high school.
Oh, that's crazy. I
There was
can't
some
believe that.
administrative lady, I can't remember what her name is, that they're obsessed with. And they
Oh,
would
yeah.
put her in the comics as a Wicked Witch kind of character. And, you know, Chris Chan and Sonichu would show up and beat her up and beat her minions. You know, it was very much
Right.
cartoonish, and I think very indicative of the fact that, like, by this time, Christian was already in their 20s. Okay,
Oh, wow.
so it's kind of
I
indicative.
thought that's some shit he made when he was like 13,
No.
or they made in the 13.
No, this is Christian in their 20s.
Oh.
And I think it's indicative of like a really, really stunted developmental process, right? Obviously,
Infantile. Yeah, infantile.
infant like, and this is where I start to get sussy about covering Chris, and why I didn't want us to make fun of Chris back in the DP days, is because I feel like that a lot of people have taken this kind of like childlike nature where Chris will also very much like a child pretty much believe anything you tell him. He does, like, and I think that might have more to do with his ASD than anything, but like, you know, he doesn't know when people are fucking with him. So this is allowed.
That's a common autism thing. So
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
this is allowed trolls to like infiltrate his life and pretend to be women and get him to send nudes, which they then leak on the internet. And the cycle of that has happened 4 or 5 or 6 times that I'm aware of. And it's like Chris never learns, never gets it. And people have just taken advantage of this over and over to infiltrate their life in a
Chris
very
Chan
fun
is someone that actually is one of the people that would, obviously Britney Spears was famous for being a 13-year conservatorship. Like Chris Chan needs a conservatorship, like someone to be like, you cannot go and if someone wants to meet you, like they have to meet that person first and be like, okay, no, you're not going to get anywhere near this person. Go away. Your trolling shit is not going to happen here.
This is I'll try and give you and I'm not going to get in the whole background, but basically the troll community had infiltrated Chris's life again and pretended to be a girlfriend and got him to make this is, by the way, one of the episodes of the Chris Chan documentary that I talk about. You can find it. Just search a comprehensive history of Chris Chan on YouTube.
These will pop up just like on my feed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Popular.
It's gonna be a tough one for me because I can't remember exactly.
Do you want me to go?
Involved his elderly family in the trolling as well. They would call them their house day and night, and let me see. I'm just trying to see if I can find a spot. Yeah, it's right at the end.
Because the envelope is
make it later. Convinced by Julie.
Okay, so Julie is a troll.
Okay.
That has infiltrated Chris's life. Chris thinks that they're dating this Julie person that doesn't exist.
Right.
And Julie has asked Chris to make a private pornographic display. And this is, I'll just...
Christian created a new section on his SonnechuandRosechew.com website called Sonnechew and Rosechew's Love Shack, which consisted of sexual imagery concerning his Sonnechew characters. It was designed to be protected by an age restriction. Most of the drawings were simply pages from the Sonnechew comics, but as time went on, he updated the section regularly with new renderings. On February 13th, audio of a sex chat on Skype between Chris and Julie emerged. During the 20-minute-long virtual intercourse, Julie's voice cannot be heard, but it can be determined that they are role-playing, with Julie possibly as a cat and Chris as Sonnechew. Sounds of Chris masturbating can be heard throughout.
I sent a few short static shocks up your pussy. Not enough to hurt you too bad, but make you feel good. You're gonna get my milk, kitty cat.
After Christian's climax, he is heard drinking a carbonated drink and consequently belches.
Excuse me.
Man,
Might seem burping because
how to just say,
I've quite enjoyed you and your juices.
You know what? Be as kinky as you want, be as nerdy as you want, but please, not at the same time. It's not at the same time.
I'm gonna send a lightning bolt to your pussy.
I am sending a lightning bolt into your pussy, which, it's not meant to hurt you. It's just to feel nice. Because you're a bad...
your pussy.
The little pussy of the pussy. A little kitty cat gonna get a little shock in the pussy region.
Excuse me.
But just
Enjoy
enough,
your juices.
Just enough to, to make it feel nice. And that's what's happening. There's
more.
Me.
I know.
On the same day, Christian took part in another mumble chat, during which he reveals the idea Julie had for a video.
It's basically a video of me standing up to Clyde and showing him how strong I am, doing a few kicks for the camera.
Yeah, you should throw some punches, show them what you're made of. Come on.
I pretty much already proved my strength when I ripped that dildo in half.
Chris tells a fan that the original She Came for Quick Pick was torn up into small squares and placed into an envelope.
Why'd you do that shit?
I understand Rosechew, but why something that's from real life?
It's not necessarily from real life. It depends on your interpretation. I mean, it's hardly. I mean, most women have long brown hair, and the eyes are censored. So.
Most women? Yeah, but I remember that one video you were saying is
long brown hair, dude.
You can just tell, this person is not with it at the age they should be. I think Chris is 23 or 24 or 25 at this point. So well behind developmentally where they should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it broke up my friendship with Megan.
On Valentine's Day 2009, Chris and Julie had another sex chat together, much in the same vein as the one a day prior.
Okay, I'm licking your pussy while you're sitting on my face.
Trolls were made aware of the cybersex session taking place, and some decided to make use of that knowledge. While Christian was masturbating, 4 calls were made to the family phone by trolls attempting to convince Bob to walk in on his son. The first 3 callers were dismissed by Bob, who told them that Chris was sleeping. The 4th caller exclaimed that Chris had posted a video on YouTube saying that he was going to kill himself. Understandably concerned, Bob went in to check on him.
Listen, what are you doing? Nothing. All these crazy damn calls.
Fuck.
What are you doing? Nothing. Give me that crap. Now, what's going on? Dad, will you get out of here? No, I will not. People tell me that you're about to kill yourself on YouTube. What? What is your trouble? I'm not going to kill myself. Get away from that TV. Fine. Get away from the internet. I'm cutting it down right now. No! Dad, no!
I'm cutting it down. Maybe you should.
That's like, yes.
I think you should, honestly.
Okay,
Bob.
so here's another problem that I have. You know, remember, this old man here, Bob Chandler, whatever his failings are, he's ancient. He's like 78 at this point. They had like a late in life baby with Chris.
Right.
And so both of his parents are basically old and infirm retired folks.
Yeah.
They don't know the internet from their back of their asses because they probably grew up on a wagon train somewhere.
Sure.
You know what I mean? They're fucking old as the hills. And it's like there's nobody to look after Chris. Nobody is just unplugging this, realizing Chris is the laughing stock of the internet, pulling them, like taking a little bit of control so that, you know, Chris isn't humiliating herself over and over and over and over and over and over and over, right? There's nobody there to do that, and you can't really put it on her parents. They're ancient. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't even know the internet was a thing, and people are calling them in the middle of the night saying your son's gonna kill yourself on the YouTubes, you know, and that's all they know.
What? I'm chopping down the damn internet. I'm gonna go and turn the internet off. Give me my axe.
There is a manipulative troll behind getting Chris to act out any fantasies he had with his mother. And that's all I know about it. I didn't want to fucking, I didn't think I could stomach anymore at this point in the goddamn fucking, you know what I mean? Like, thing. So, yeah, that's Chris Chan. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all the coverage of this that you'll ever get out of me. Like, this is just a person that was abused and is still abused, unfortunately. Still has nobody advocating for them. Still has nobody to look out for them, really. I guess there's some of the people in the community that try and protect them. Like, there's people with a conscience that are kind of like, I want to see Christine do well or whatever the fuck. But anyway, I got to go fill my fucking water. I'll be back in 5 seconds. Just give me a minute.
All right, no problem, man.
Do it.
I mean, in the case of Christian, it's like the people it wasn't even about someone who was like a content creator, really. It was like people who were manipulating a person, which what they thought were interpersonal reactions or interactions, and used them to just facilitate this weird scheme, which invariably involved a bunch of sexual acts.
The woman who supposedly manipulated Chris and the mother shit was out as a sexual predator and animal abuser. Yeah, didn't she like boil gerbils or some shit?
Just
alive,
boil that person alive, please. Humanity will lose nothing.
Wings coming up. Let's go. Yeah, our next one is Wings of Redemption.
How much did you know about Chris Chan going into this?
Fucking pretty much.
I knew almost nothing,
dude. I cannot stand that kind of cringe shit. Like, the shit that we just watched was so fucking cringe. I would never in my fucking spare time watch shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking
bullshit, dude.
I can't fucking see for a second sitting there actually watching that shit play out and being like invested in it on any level. I would just, like, if I was like flipping through channels or something and that just
the
came
cringe
up,
network,
and it was just like,
yeah, shove it up your ass, you fucking retard that we've gaslit.
You're a homo.
Shove it up
thanks.
harder, homo.
Say you're a homo.
I'd be just like, click next channel, please. No, thank you.
No, I want nothing to do with it. Still want nothing to do with it. I mean, look, for the LOLCOW gauntlet, it must be done. I mean, Chris Chan is the most famous LOLCOW of them all. I think that's
It goes
pretty much
beyond
arguable.
cringe, just being really uncomfortable. I mean, to me, cringe and uncomfortable are the same fucking thing. That's like what cringe is.
I mean, yeah, it is. I almost like the sentiment though is like it's even beyond cringe.
Like it goes
It's
on a
just-
level
it's-
beyond just cringe.
It's sick and twisted manipulation of a person that really can't fight back or credibly understand for the most part. I mean, I think obviously, like I said, there's a hints that they knew what was going on to some degree, but it's like when you're trapped in this cycle of loneliness and despair, and some people will give you attention, even if it's horrible attention like that. At least they're giving them the time of day. So as unfortunate as that negative attention is something to that person.
We're moving on.
I'm sure you do want to move on, TJ.
This is Wings of Redemption. You ever heard of Wings of Redemption?
Isn't he Boogie's little buddy, Boogie Buddy?
He is
Yeah, I
Boogie's
think I've seen one of his videos.
He's co-host on the LOLCOW podcast. And I got to tell you guys, if you were looking for a break from the everybody's bullying narrative, this is the guy that I take the break on the narrative. Now, a couple of things have happened to Wings. He's been swatted. By the way, everybody on this list tonight has been swatted, including Gorgeous George, which I think is bullshit. Under any circumstances, nobody deserves swatting.
Sure.
But
people have literally been killed because they were swatted.
Setting that shit aside, this dude deserves everything he gets. I started with it. Let me just read you this. Jordy McCready Jordan. That is his name. His parents named him Jordy Jordan. Better known as Wangs of Redemption. Is a YouTube gamer, streamer, pedophile, and former Call of Duty commentator. You can tell this one was written by trolls. I think this is from Encyclopedia Dramatica. He is considered a pioneer in gaming commentary and was initially a very popular YouTuber in the Call of Duty scene during the early days of YouTube, even hosting his own podcast with other popular YouTubers. That is true. So this is a rapid fire compilation of all of Jordy's iconic moments. Okay, let's take a watch.
You having fun stealing content?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, guys. If they join session again, I'm just gonna have to fucking stop playing.
Okay.
So I'll give you the background.
I hope that
why.
never happens.
So this guy,
tell me about
people
this.
were joining his games, and I can't remember which game he was playing, but like Xbox had a thing where people could just jump into his games if he was streaming them or playing like public games. And he was trying to figure out how he could get away from these damn trolls that kept throwing all the matches, because that's how people would troll him. They would get into his games and like make sure that he lost by just throwing, or like they would teabag in his face while he was trying to line up shots and shit as on his team. You know what I mean? And so like
they sabotage the matches.
Exactly. And so he's trying to figure out how to get around this, and the trolls whip him up to a frenzy. Like, this is probably the most iconic Wings moment here.
Okay,
got it.
Until they
it builds to an explosion.
Until they leave. Like, all they're doing is hurting my livelihood. If somebody could please like get me their information, like maybe like I forgot what that shit's called, but
doxing.
Yeah,
doxing.
Like,
could someone
if
just
somebody
dox
could give
these
me like their
trolls?
information, like their name, their address, the number, how I can get in contact with these guys, I would really like to know, because like I'm seriously considering suing them.
Yeah.
No, they're joining through recent players.
Encyclopedia Dramatica.
Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not fucking stop it. So stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about. I'm banning anybody trying to give me advice. Real talk.
And now he's turning.
Hey, you gotta suck a dick for $1 million.
Well, here's the thing. The reason I've been fascinated with Wings for so long is I have had salty blow-ups way fucking worse than that at people in chat. Way worse.
Yeah, way worse. 100 times worse.
Way 100 times worse. But I'm not a LOLCOW. Like, I don't have like a whole goddamn troop of people devoted to destroying me, because I'll admit later on that, like, goddamn, that was a salty ass outburst. I'm sorry, y'all, or whatever the fuck I need to do to move past it, right? Like, I get that I have outbursts, and it's just like he can't admit that he doesn't. So that moment haunts him to this day. People will type "look here, listen" in his chat. Like, he has to ban that phrase in his YouTube chats, because people will literally just spam "look here, listen," because that's what he said at the beginning of that rage. Look here, listen.
I will not be quitting the internets.
Yeah. So yeah, but there's more. I mean, it goes on, it gets better, but none of it, I don't think, rises to the level of the salt that I'll display on just an average fucking show some nights.
Yeah, you're an ornery
The
boy.
Predator missile right on top of me. Not gonna happen, buddy. Not gonna happen. You go. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking. Bitch. Why? Why? What the fuck? Sniped. Oh, look, Mom, a sniper. Casual racism. Fuck that nigga. This is the ace and hold. This is the last hurrah. If I failed this, I'd die. I'd die in a bed alone.
Aw.
And like all people want to do is fuck with me.
I don't even believe him, dude.
No, he's not even crying. It's fake.
He's not even remotely.
He's just whimpering. It's like, that's different. Like the
You know, like there's like these. I watch this true crime shit like a fucking addict. Okay, and one of the fucking telltale signs of one of these fucking bullshitters is either they'll call 911 to report their own murder, but they'll either be like totally like flat and don't give a shit. Like, yeah, I found my mom's corpse. She's dead. Yeah, if you come here and yeah, she's dead. Oh yeah, she looks dead.
Just send the meat wagon on by, pick her up, and
then they'll like the fucking EMTs will be there and they'll be like reading a magazine in the corner. Like, yeah, you can't save him. Oh man, that's crazy. Or you'll get this motherfucker like, oh my god, my mom is dead.
Yeah.
No, please help. Save her quick. And then there's like their eyes are just totally devoid of tears, like they got nothing going on there.
And then when you hear a call from somebody that had nothing to do with it, that discovered the body or something, they're always trying their best to just keep it together for the fucking, like, it sounds authentic.
Right.
Like, it's not melodrama. It's like, oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Here's my address, and please send somebody quick. I think she's dead. I don't know. I don't want to, like that sort of thing. Like, it sounds more authentic. When there's nobody involved. But yeah, when it's your hand that was in the cookie jar, this over performative kind of whiny, I call it tearless crying. It's my favorite fucking thing in the world. For some reason, like, nobody's tear ducts work when they're trying to do this performative crying shit.
Yeah. Which if you can't, if you know you can't pull that off, just don't fucking, because no one is convinced by like that shit. You can't just make the sound of, oh my God, and then just have totally dry eyes. And people are just like, oh, wow, cool.
Oh, poor little Grickle Grass. TJ, you've done it again, man.
I thought fucking she unbanned him. I saw her unban him.
Me and Nuggy are going to be in Grickle Grass because you lashed out at him for the rest of the night.
And y'all ain't good.
How's it been, man?
I'm not here to conversate, man.
Conversate?
You're not here to talk?
No.
I'm not
Talk
here
about the
to
game.
conversate.
I ain't hired to conversate, boy.
Fucking A, dude.
Fucking B. Fucking C.
By the way, the
Fucking
chair
D.
that he's on, because he weighs 590 fucking thousand pounds or whatever. You had to do that chair there. Like, they will just like people will like be like shout outs the chair whenever he sits in it, because it like groans with protest whenever
Oh, please, Wings, don't do it to me again. You're going to have to take my fat ass in your face. Please don't.
I kind of play video games to deal with anxiety more so than actually enjoying them.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's
yeah.
one reason
What a
I
poor
always
soul.
I kind of gravitated to Dark Souls, and I went so hard into Dark Souls.
You play
was because
games because
it
of
allowed
anxiety,
me
so you play the most anxiety-inducing game you can imagine.
Yeah,
Dark
Dark
Souls.
Souls.
Yeah, what a relaxing game, dude.
Totally relaxing.
Yeah, constant enemies, constant fucking damage, constant ways to die.
Wings of animal abuse tipped $1. Hey Wings, you like your wife like you like your wings battered. SO vicious threat 91, etc. I mean, you still got $1 out of the motherfucker, so whatever.
Okay, that was sketchy. It allowed it
just like, all right.
He just like moves on past it.
I'm just not acknowledging that.
it was what word am I looking for here? It basically kept my brain active enough that I didn't think about life.
Maybe you should think about your life some more. If that's the case, maybe you should consider your decisions, buddy.
Perfectly healthy. Now, I play Dark Souls when I want to play something on stream, and I just mainly want to talk to you guys. Like, I'm playing this strictly because I don't feel like dealing with like people fucking with me, and I don't want a very stressful stream by people just, you know, like it's not fun to play Battlefield and just have people throw smokes at you the entire day. It just isn't.
Everyone's so mean to me all the time.
Everybody.
Right. I tell you what, I've had enough wings. What do you guys feel about moving on? Let's move on.
Sure. Yeah, I think
I built this in for you guys. We got ourselves a manatee break coming up. That's right. A manatee break. But you know what? We're gonna skip the first part of
I think that there's a lot of people out there who are beaten down. I think most
those poor beaten down bastards, but not Brett Keane.
Not Brett.
You know, I mean, everything I'm gonna say about Brett Keane right here is fucking true, though. It really is. I mean, like, give the motherfucker one thing. He's persistent as fuck.
Give the devil his due.
As the fucking most aggressive cancer, he will not respond to chemotherapy. There is no fucking defeating his ass.
I just want to say,
until the day that they bury Brett Keane in the ground, he will never fucking give up. He will never surrender. So,
I don't even think he'll surrender after that day.
Yeah, I think even in death, Brett,
whatever the world wants.
So he needs to film from the garage again.
I'll give.
You know, I don't have that garage no more, right?
And Brett Keane is one of those rare examples of the person who says, "That's it. I'm tired of this shit. You're never knocking me down again. I'm going to stand firm. I don't give a shit.
I get knocked down.
But you know what, dude?
But I get up again.
You're
never
gonna keep current garage and do another fucking garage era, dude.
I need to do a new
you know
garage
what? You've
era.
been too comfy in your fucking pretty little well-designed chaotic set back there with your expensive lighting and your fucking expensive microphone, TJ.
Back
you
to
need
grunge.
get back in the raw, dude. You need to get back in them fucking garage days where you were pacing around and you were filled with fucking young, dumb, and full of. That's what people want. All right.
All right. You know what, Paul? Just for you, garage videos coming.
Do it. Do it.
Bring what you will. Hurricanes, tornadoes, all that shit. You're not knocking me down again, motherfucker.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep. Like I said, I'm right.
I feel the passion,
Look,
TJ.
This is the fucking truth, though. Brett, for whatever his failings may be, is a persistent motherfucker. You can't deny it. You can't take it away.
He's persistent in some ways. He's not persistent in ways that matter, though.
Not only that, though. There is the thing about Brett Keane at this time is every fucking word that was coming out of his mouth was plagiarized.
Right.
So it wasn't like I was liking some stupid Brett Keane shit that he thought of himself. I was liking stuff that like he stole from smarter people. So
Sure. TJ, you got to do that old school, the amazing.
Yeah.
You need to do that intro for it too. Otherwise, people won't recognize it as a true garage video.
I'll see if I can track that down then,
because it needs it, in my opinion. Dude, people have been clamoring. They want, you know what they want, TJ? They want 2008, TJ.
They want the garage back.
They want 2008.
At least for a video. All right, let's see.
This is like 2007 TJ right here.
This is very early.
Yeah.
This is way before 2011. Someone said 2011.
Oh
TJ.
no, yeah, this is way before 20.
This is fucking long before 2011. TJ ever reared.
It's like
his ugly head.
2000.
Only a few of us were around. Like this was early days of YouTube. TJ was king shit back in the day, but that I think he was king shit with like 1,000 subscribers or something at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, wow, that's impossible. Let's see, what else do we have on Brett here?
Yeah,
mac
what's
and cheese situation?
Honey.
Oh, this is like him trying to be in on the joke.
Yeah.
I'll never be in on the joke, Brett.
Honey.
Honey.
Honey, what are you cooking? What's for dinner?
Mac and cheese, of course.
What?
This is the man, dude. The manatee's in on it now. TJ's
Mac and cheese, of course.
His face froze in a look of fucking incredulity, and he's gone now. I think he might have had a stroke.
I don't fucking blame him, dude. This is what Brett's making nowadays.
That look of incredulity has not left his face. Still, it's still that lingers. Still.
Mac and cheese situation.
All right.
I own it.
You own. You got it. You know what? That belongs to you
now.
now, Brett. That's your bit now.
I
You're
gum
good.
down the
you
mac
can
and
have mac and
cheese.
cheese. It was always your bit. Now I can see now it was always your bit. So
Yeah.
you can have it back.
It's yours now. TJ, this is funny. I agree. It's hilarious. It's the funniest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. Thank you so much for pointing
This is
that out
high
to me.
comedy. High comedy, man.
Definitely high.
Step aside Carlin. Step aside Hicks.
I
step
mean, look,
aside Manny
Brett
Bruce.
Keane
Get
has
out
always
of the fucking way.
been a British thespian who is playing a role of Brett Keane. He lives in the small town of Festus, Missouri.
Fucking audio off.
Yes, Brett, yes. The act is beautiful.
Turn your fucking audio. Oh, no, finish that one.
Off. All right, cocksucker. Hey, stupid. Do you realize?
See, Brett's actually angrier than any of the fucking wings shit we saw earlier, despite
Yeah.
not breaking his controller. Like, you can just tell in his voice, the anger is more like, authentic.
No, it's true. It's very much true.
That you were in my fucking party yapping? What the fuck are you doing over there, Dumbo? God bless you all.
Yeah, bless us all. Uh-oh. You okay, Brett?
Poor Brett. It's okay, Brett. Have Dorn bring
Brett,
you a steaming hot pile of mac and cheese.
What's wrong, Brett?
How about some chili, extra cheese?
What's wrong with him? Is he okay? Brett?
I don't think he is, guys.
Aw.
Poor Brett.
Brett, it's okay. Don't worry, man. It'll be all right.
Dude, I remember this. We called this the tears of the manatee.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did. We really fucking scooped hard on this one. We brought him to tears, you know, and I don't think these are real tears either.
Oh, they are. Paul, you know,
I
in
think these are
retrospect,
crocodile tears right here.
in retrospect, Paul, I think that we might have pushed a little too hard. And
Nah, dude, this is Brett genuinely upset because we're just so mean to him.
and I just want to say, you know, look, Brett, if we pushed a little too hard back then, I'm sorry, man.
Oh wow.
I sincerely apologize.
Brett,
Wow.
hey, Brett,
Left some of
it's
my
not,
soul.
it's not your fault, Brett. It's not your fault that you lied.
You know what? Hold up, pause it.
Yeah.
Because you guys took a big step, I want to as well. Hey Brett, go fuck yourself. You're a piece of shit. I'm glad I made you cry. I hope you
Aw.
cry every goddamn
That's
day.
not
of your
nice,
life.
Paul. Paul,
You're
stop
a,
that.
You're a belly crawling snake scumbag of an
How can
individual.
you say
God,
these things?
Paul. Brett's
Hasn't
always
this
tried to be
man-
your friend. Always tried to be your friend, Paul. That's how you pay him.
wanted was to bring her out, Paul Single.
I imagine us standing against the waves, arm in arm, fighting the tide.
I ever wanted.
Look at this. There's no recorded onion in the pie. This motherfucker grubbed an onion on his face. I was like, all right, I'll play. God blesses everyone. And then fucking hit the fucking end. He expects me to believe he's fucking weeping. Dude, this motherfucker doesn't have the capacity to weep for the tragic fucking fate of humanity, okay? He's a scumfuck. He's a scumfuck with a big void at the core of him that can only be filled by handfuls of other people's money, and he can never get his hands on enough of it. His big old grabby wife stranglers. He can't get his big old wife smackers on enough money.
I
Dude.
punched my wife. I've strangled her.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
All I ever wanted was a little bit of love, Paul Fingal.
I just want love, Paul. Can you just love me?
And I reached my hand out to you in a gesture of love, and you smacked it away and said, "Man."
This has got the unabridged, so we can watch it from the very start. He's stirring the chili. He does his whole intro. Okay, this is the unabridged. This is actually Brett Keane eats chili for 7 hours.
Oh, okay.
Well, for
But
two, but no.
it's a loop for 7 hours of the entire chili incident from start to
It's for
finish.
2 hours. It's 2 hours.
So there
but
will be
yes.
no editing controversy here. No jump cuts.
All right.
Just raw emotion. Okay.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from God TV Radio. Make sure you check out my gaming channel, Games You Love. And when you get an opportunity, check out all my other YouTube channels, including my brother's and my new Movies You Love channel.
Movies You Love.
My beautiful wife, she made me a fantastic bowl of chili. No cheese.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm glad we found this. No cheese. So there's like a little bit of a diphthong there, like cheese, like a little up down.
We're gonna listen one more time.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the beginning. Because they're playing some chili.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from God TV Radio. Make sure you check out my gaming channel.
I'm going to try to view this as
Games You
neutrally
Love.
as possible.
And
I'm
when you
just
get
going
an
to remove all
opportunity,
knowledge
check
of
out all
Brett
my
Keane
other
from my
YouTube
brain.
channels, including my brother's
Mm-hmm.
and my new Movies You Love channel. My beautiful wife, she made me a fantastic bowl of chili. No cheese.
I have made my determination.
I'm still as flabbergasted as I ever was. I don't feel like a repeated watchings or I think that it's like the eternal question. It's like Buddha's question of what is the sound of one hand clapping, right?
Mhm.
It's that to me. It's Brett Keane's Buddha Zen moment of was the cheese wanted? Was it desired, or was its absence merely noted? You know?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you this.
You go. I have to go with.
So let me tell you my
undecided.
history with this. So when I first saw this, I was the big defender on the show of this was just merely a neutral observation from Brett.
You
and then
we were. I remember that you
Yes.
were that. Yes.
We were being negative towards him. And, you know, I've watched this clip many times. We've had this discussion a few times trying to figure this out. And this is it's honestly, it's not an important thing. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of the universe, but it is a little curiosity for me. But I think on that most recent watch through, I finally drew my conclusion. And my conclusion is that it is a complaint.
It is.
And the reason why I think it's a complaint is because Brett Keane doesn't really make neutral observations about anything. He's pretty much tirelessly negative in all regards, unless there is something telling you that he is being praising. Now, like he says, my lovely wife, Dawn, made me a bowl of chili. That is complimentary.
Right.
But it's almost like something in the manatee rebelled against being nice and had to find some kind of little fault.
A little venomous barb.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers.
Now, he didn't go full venom with it.
No, it's subtle.
It's a subtle dig.
Well, it's probably meant with venom, though. It's meant to like make.
Oh yeah, dude. Brett, wait, you know, he takes a big gulp of his drink. In Brett's mind, if he had that nice cheesy topping, it would go down a lot smoother.
Oh yeah, the oils from that cheese would make it slide right down.
So when he has, so the chili, I think in Brett's mind's a little dry because it doesn't have that cheese.
Anyway, I'm gonna put the poll up. You guys tell me what you think. I think there is still debate to be had about this, but you guys can let me know what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, I have always been on team complaint. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's impossible. It was a neutral observation. No, I just don't think that's the case here.
It doesn't look like this is as nearly as contentious among the audience as it is amongst us.
I think most people even back then felt it was a complaint.
They seem to pretty universally believe this was a complaint.
I really think it was. But, you know, hey, I mean, if you think otherwise, you know, honestly, like, what is the case? Okay, I guess, what is the case that it's just an observation?
Because he doesn't really say it with a whole lot of venom or anger or anything like that. And he's not like, I mean, it's not like it's not clear in the way that you might want it to be. Like, we're just like, no cheese.
Yeah.
But all interactions necessarily like that. I mean, you can have plenty of negative interactions and you have to infer, like, maybe that was negative. Maybe
he says it was sort of a flat tone, like, no cheese.
I don't think it's necessarily 100% flat, though.
There is a hint,
something.
There's a hint of disappointment in it.
Well, see,
that's why I think it's a complaint.
To you.
Yeah.
There is a hint of disappointment, but to me, and you cannot claim that I'm any less an observer of the manatee than you.
Sure, no. I don't think anyone would claim.
And to me, it is still just a lingering fog that hangs over this moment. Well, I don't know. I don't think I ever will know.
He's basically saying it's good despite no cheese, but he prefers cheese.
Maybe that's true. It could be more common.
Which is still kind of a, I mean, that's still kind of a complaint.
That's at least a decent argument. You know, hey, he just prefers the cheese. So it's not even a complaint. Well, that's still a complaint, though, if you really think about it, because he's saying how
complaint.
But it's a softer complaint, but it's like, you know, it's like you had something, hey, less salt next time. That's not, you might not be saying you hate the food you've been given.
Yeah,
but it's still a complaint. It's like, hey, dial this back to make this better. So I still say that ends up, even if that's the auspices of the complaint, it's still a complaint. Maybe it's a nice complaint, but it's still a complaint.
Hey, look, I think you guys make cogent arguments for this moment. I think you do.
No cheese. How many atheists do you think got killed during the reign of Zeo the Dawn? I keep on.
Zeo the Dawn.
I'm asking myself, come on, God.
I love that.
I remember that, and that stuck by us, except Paul. Because I remember when we were doing the show, and you're like, "Wait a minute, what did he just say?" And we had to rewind the tape, and it's like, I asked myself,
come on, God.
Whoa.
Oh shit.
High opinion of yourself now.
Please, God.
Situation.
We'll do 616 right afterwards, after I report every goddamn video on the channel. Let's see what we got. Should we go with age, gender, disability, veteran, sexual orientation? Well, you guys have called me homosexual. You have called me some names having to do with sex and all that. So we'll go with that first.
We'll go with this lie.
Yeah.
That's the lie I'm trying.
We're out because I'm taking my morning
on YouTube too. It's just like I don't know. Dude, this era of Brett, I don't know what to call it. It's like his Bella Lugosi kind of vampire era. It's like I don't know what it is about the combination of that black and white, like fucking Cruella hair and his piggish nose and those Oakley blades that he's wearing.
It's like a mismatch of elements that don't belong together.
Yeah, it is.
Which sums up Brad.
Because, like, his bulbous head doesn't go with those glasses. That hair doesn't go with anything else on his body. That mustache is wearing him. I mean, everything about this is just a jumble of elements that don't fucking congeal into anything that makes any sense. And then the camera angle.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who the fuck? It's like, why are we looking at
ultra close up?
Yeah, like, why are we looking at such a fucking thin slice of your fat head?
And he's got a bulbous fucking head, too.
Ooh, goodness gracious, this walking can be rough.
Yeah.
Dude,
It
he's
sure
just like
can.
having like a normal stroll and he's winded as all get out.
God, just walking such
Oh, dude, remember the video of him walking to the truck? That was the crazy. I mean, dude, he was
yeah.
Oh God, I had to get my smokes from the truck. Oh God.
I feel like I'm gonna fucking die.
A wooden table. This one's made out of metal. But a wooden picnic table that has graffiti written all over it with the words, the N-word on it. Basically a bunch of racist comments, gang stuff. Continued to
Yeah, that's fascinating, Brett.
aggravate my wife, basically, annoy her, and keep saying I love her, and I kept trying to get her to come back to me, and I said, I kept telling her, our daughter is going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So sad situation.
She told her stepmother and father that she didn't want to have nothing to do with me anymore.
I'm so
because the
shocked.
doctors told us that they don't know if our daughter's going to make it. So she, in order to keep me away from trying to get her back and save the marriage, she filed out a restraining order without thinking. Well, the late
Is that what
That's not really how restraining orders work or how they happen.
Without
gotta tell
even
you something.
thinking for a second, she just, as you do, you file a restraining order on a whim. You
On a
just,
whim.
it's fucking so easy to do. Just go there and restraining order, please, and say, here you go.
I've got
didn't
to
even fucking
say
think
something.
about it
At
for
this
one
era,
second.
at this video of Brett retelling the story of why he's got multiple counts of domestic abuse on his record. And by the way, if you compare those to that video we were just watching and this one are two different stabs that Brett has taken at telling the story of why he has domestic violence on his record. And they're both completely different. But, dude, Dorn in this era, her look is kind of iconic, though, I think. Dude,
my wife
is a trailer daisy. Look at her. Dude, look at her over there.
to try to get some kind of restraining order to keep me away from her country home. Now, my wife did not want to do that. She didn't want to get into all that situation.
So you remember what he just said? He said that Dawn filed it without thinking.
Yeah.
And now it's the wicked stepmother made Dawn file it.
Yeah, the stepmother such a word. I'm fucking.
I just wanted to love her and keep on loving her and just told her I loved her and she just didn't want to be with me.
Dorn looks
Right.
so sad, wouldn't you be?
But
Well, she ended up with Brett, so
She's sitting next to her abuser, being forced to like support another one of his fucking lies about why he knocked her around and went to jail for it.
mother went ahead and, sorry, we got somebody weeding in our grass.
Oh, somebody that works for their money. Wow, what a bastard.
The stepmother went ahead and tried to get a restraining order against me to keep me away from her house because she just wanted to keep Dawn and Angelica there so she could do the monitoring. She just wanted to deal with the nursing part of the situation. Like you do, I'd appreciate it. I've got an extremely popular YouTube channel, and I'm sure that it would get a lot of views for your church and be able to help you push your agenda more. Whenever you read the Quran,
The cran, dude. I forgot about that. The cran.
Whenever you read the Quran,
individuals would be individuals.
Oh my god.
it's fucking individual.
I think this might have been one of the. I think this might have been the video where I dubbed him the manatee, or it was one that was shot exactly
Like call me
like
the
this.
king of the manatee.
I never called you the
Individuals
king.
were individuals. Individuals are told by my lawyer that I have a great case against YouTube for liability.
His lawyer.
Yeah.
Lawyer, I got a great case for liability.
Yeah.
You're from Louisiana. What's it like down there? Videos where he makes Thunderfoot look like a fucking Muslim with a turbine. You know, who gives a
Turbine, huh?
A turbine.
Brett Keane. I'm the next stage of evolution. Every word I spit causes revolution.
Well,
Dude, I don't even remember this.
you're a better rapper than Wings of Redemption, at least. I'll give you
That's
that.
true.
Look into my eyes. I'm the intelligent design. I'm like Hitler's Holocaust. I'm like Stalin's Rhine. When I
Stalin's Rhine? So that Rhine shit.
That's
I'm like
another
Stalin's
Rhine.
Rhine, dude.
He doesn't know Rhine.
I'm like Hitler's Holocaust. I'm like Stalin's Rhine.
Is it his accent, or does he just not know how? To
He
say
says
Rhine?
Rhine. There's no. That's not an accent. No one says Rhine, dude.
Well,
Hold
maybe
on.
they would like that. There's during the Rhine a king fucking. I can see it, but he just
hold up.
Every word I spit causes revolution. Look into my eyes, I'm the intelligent design. I'm like Hitler's Holocaust, I'm like Stalin's Rhine.
Stalin's Rhine. I'm like Hitler's Holocaust. I'm like Stalin's Rhine.
Okay.
Pretty hoppity, pretty fly. Like, why is he comparing himself to Hitler's Holocaust?
I don't know. This is a fucking chode.
The mic is like a sign of the times. No man can be my motherfucking equal. I have the blood of kings flowing inside my veins.
Oh ho ho! Pretty good, huh? Pretty entertaining stuff, if I do say so myself. Like I said, you want to see the full thing? Join the Pessimist Productions Patreon down below. Until then.